Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Action Figure Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman vs. Superman Knightmare Batman 6-inch figure. So this is part of Wave 2 of Mattel's Batman vs. Superman premium line. And when I say premium, it ain't really premium, but it's their higher end collector targeted line. Wave 2 consists of Knightmare Batman as well as Aquaman. And as you can see, the packaging is the same as what we saw before. You basically get the red, white, and black look. Has the Batman v Superman logo on the top, says DC Comics Multiverse below that. At the bottom, pretty cool image there of Batman from the film. Then Collect and Connect, Grapnel Blaster Replica. The side of the box gives us a peek inside the packaging. Opposite side shows us that nice image of Batman once again. And I think he looks pretty cool. If you want to pause and read that, feel free and do so. And then at the back, it shows you the different parts that you need to assemble Batman's grapnel blaster. And we get another part packed in here, which will move us right along on finally completing this thing. And then at the bottom, other characters that have been released so far. Shows you a picture of Lex there. I don't think we even know who number 7 is, a little empty spot down there. I've been looking around online. Doesn't seem like they've really announced who it is, so hopefully we'll see in the near future. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy out of the packaging, and then we'll take a closer look and see what Knightmare Batman is like. All right, you guys, and here is a look at Knightmare Batman out of the box. And I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely different. I mean, when else have we gotten a Batman figure in a trench coat? I can't think of any time. I mean, we've gotten Ninja Turtles in trench coats back in the day, but Batman? Nah, it looks good. I like what they did here, and it does match what we saw in the film. He's definitely a pretty bulky and hulking looking figure, but so is the character in the film, so were the previous Batman v Superman figures that we've looked at. Sculpting looks pretty nice. Trench coat, kind of toyetic, but it seems to get the job done. Batman is nicely articulated and comes with some pretty cool accessories. I don't really like how his arms kind of stick out like that, but that's due to the articulation. Let me go ahead and give you a close-up here of this guy's head so you can see him a little bit better. And it looks pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look too much different from their previous effort. Go ahead and bring the first one in. I think that the new one looks a little bit better. It doesn't look quite as friendly as the original one did. You can see that the new one doesn't have all the texturing going on the mask that this other guy did. So it's interesting that they did a new head sculpt. I do think that it mostly looks better. It's not as shiny, and it just looks a little bit more menacing. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit more menacing. Eyes seem to be painted pretty well. The mouth area here, they gave him a 5 o'clock shadow. And that looks pretty good too. I mean, the paint is mostly, pretty clean. All around, I think it looks quite good. Definitely an improvement over the first one. And yeah, it ain't too bad. Now, the rest of the costume, you can see that Batman has his, it's got like a scarf going on right there, but then you can see his regular Batman costume underneath. Bat logo right there in his chest. And then the rest of it is just this very far out combat outfit that he wore in the film. So it's interesting. Again, very different from anything we've seen before with Batman. But I think for the most part, it does look quite good. It's definitely more interesting looking than the first release. Trench coat itself looks okay. Not a whole lot of detail to be seen with it. I mean, it's very simple, very basic. Looks like they did the minimum amount of effort they could have with it. They did give it some kind of dirt or different kind of color in the back, but it's kind of weird how it's only in the back like that. Maybe he was like sitting up against like a dirty seat. I don't know. It's really not that special though. I mean, they could have added a little more detail on it for paint, but inside just looks like plastic. It's shiny, nothing very special at all. The rest of the costume, his belt looks really good. I think they did a nice job with that. You can see his gauntlets right there. He's got like these little straps going around him, interestingly. And then the combat pads, I think, look pretty cool. They're kind of like this tan, green, gray color. Kind of hard to place it. But, I mean, those look pretty good. Again, not a whole lot of paint detail, but they did a nice sculpt for those pants. The boots, of course, typical Batman boots. Those look pretty decent. He doesn't have the gold toes, though, that the original Batman had. See the gold toes right there. Nor does he have those little gold tips on his knuckles either. In the way of articulation, Batman has a ball joint here at the head, and he goes side to side okay. He can look up a little bit. He can look down a little bit. It's not that great. It's okay. He's got ball joints at both of these shoulders, and you get a good amount of movement on these. This is really good. You actually do get ball joints at both of the elbows, which is very interesting because Mattel doesn't usually do that with their 6-inch figures. I'm surprised about that. He's got swivels at both of the wrists. He's got a very useless ab crunch. I mean, you literally cannot do anything with it. I mean, it goes up a little bit, but once you let it go, it just goes back down. So it's too bad they didn't save that money and just, put it elsewhere. And with this figure, maybe a different accessory, maybe a little more paint on his trench coat. There's no waist swivel. He's got the standard Mattel hip articulation, so it's kind of like a two-piece deal. You can do a very good split with Batman, and then you can also go in and out decently. He's got cuts at both of the thighs. You get your bends here at the knees, and as you can see, it's very interesting looking. I mean, if you have it just like that, it doesn't look bad, but when you bend it, it ain't very pretty at all. And then you got bends at both of the ankles. Unfortunately, there's no pivots. So, I mean, overall, he's decently articulated. I'm pretty surprised, again, about the ball hinges at the elbows. But all in all, it's really nothing too special. In the way of accessories, you get these goggles that Batman wore in the film. And there's really not a lot to them. I mean, they're just these very simple goggles. There's not even any paint detail on the inside of them. So to get these on Batman, we'll simply just rest them. Yeah, that's how he had them in the film. They were just kind of up there on his forehead. But if we wanted to pull them down, could we do that? Oh, it's a very tight fit. It's a very tight fit. I don't know if we can do that or not. Yeah, actually we can. I don't think I'm going to leave them like that because it is a very tight fit and it looks a little bit silly, to be honest. So I think I'm just going to have them, well, I'll just have him resting on his forehead like that. We also get 3 Batarangs. I don't know why we get 3 of them, but if you lose your Batarangs easily, this is going to be a good thing for you. Basically, they look like the ones he had in the film. I think in the film, though, they weren't black. I think it was more of like a gray color. And they're also kind of curved for some reason. I don't really know why. So, I mean, it's really nothing too special. They're very, very soft, rubbery, and I'm sure that some people are going to lose these pretty easily. So again, good thing that they include 3 of them. So you can have him holding one Batarang at a time. His left wrist is closed, so you're not going to get any of them in there, but, at least he can hold it in his right hand. For the Build-A-Weapon piece, we get the barrel of the grapnel gun, and looks okay. It's got kind of like a silvery sort of paint, a little bit of detailed paint on there. Very simple, black, gray, pretty lightweight. That's where the piece comes out from, I assume. And we'll go ahead and get it connected and be one step further to completing the grapnel gun. Now here's a comparison of our Knightmare Batman along with the regular Batman as well as the armored Batman that were both part of Wave 1. You can see that the Knightmare Batman certainly fits in with the aesthetic that this toy line is going for. He is a little bit taller than the regular release Batman. All in all, I think it's a visually more interesting figure. But if you're going to buy one Batman from this toy line, most likely you're probably going to go with the regular Batman, maybe the armored one, but it is nice to have options. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman vs. Superman Knightmare Batman 6-inch figure. Oh no, you guys, I think it's an okay release. I'm not totally blown away with it, but I'm not that disappointed with it either. It's pretty much what I was expecting. I think that the sculpt is decent. It's not an amazing sculpt by any means, but it gets the job done. Coloration is pretty good. Like I've said, I think that they should have given the trench coat a little bit more detail just to make it look a little more exciting. Coloration of his pants is decent. Again, a little more detail could have gone a long way. I'm pretty pleased that they gave him a new head sculpt. That's an improved head sculpt over the original release. That's always a good thing. He's articulated decently. The leg articulation is sort of hindered by the trench coat, and his accessories are okay. The goggles, all right. Batarangs, okay. Nothing terribly exciting in that area. If you're collecting the 6-inch Batman vs. Superman line, you're probably going to want to have this one in the collection as well, but if you're picking and choosing, I personally think that this one's a little bit nicer than the original release. I just like it a little bit better because it's a little bit more interesting and different, but it's definitely not essential. It's an okay figure. This DC Multiverse line in the 6-inch format for Mattel hasn't been the best. The figures are merely passable, but they're really not anything that spectacular. So maybe one of those companies like DC Collectibles or Mayfax will do something with Batman in this outfit down the road. But for now, if you want to have Batman in his Knightmare sequence outfit, then this is the only option you have to go. All right, my friends, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, then I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this figure down in the comments, whether or not it's something you might pick up. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Till next time, my friends. Bye-bye.